Welcome to Final Third TV. This week we'll talk about transition and how to improve on the work of a successful coach. The case we have specifically in mind is Allegri succeeding Antonio Conte. Conor's here to discuss that with me.
Hi Rob, how are you?
How's it going? So, how do you improve on the work of a successful coach like Antonio Conte?
Well, there's two cases in mind that come straight away out of the blocks for me. One is Allegri at Juve, and then there's David Moyes taking off from Alex Ferguson at United.
Okay.
And I don't think you need to make wholesale changes. And what Allegri did so well was he went in, basically kept the same formation, same sort of principles and ideals for the first 3 or 4 months of the season, with the 3-5-2 system that Conte had used so well. Pretty much the same team, same players, made a couple of tweaks here and there.
Yeah.
And then gradually as the season went on, he started to implement his own ideas and his own philosophies. And that was to bring in a 4-3-3 system which worked so well for them in the Champions League in the latter stages. I think the turning point was the Copenhagen game in the Champions League. Was it Copenhagen? No, that was last season.
Yeah.
Sorry, they played a big enough group stage match.
Atletico, wasn't it?
Yeah, and he decided we have to change now,
Yeah.
and that could have been a make or break moment with the players follow him or not, and they did, and he implemented his own ideas as the season went on, and he had unprecedented success. Like, it was almost a treble for Juve, and I think the difference with Moyes was that Moyes he tried to implement his own ideas, but in the end the players rebelled against it. So
Yeah.
I'm not sure if that was because Moyes wasn't a big enough character to deal with these players, but
He also came in and started saying, showing Rio Ferdinand videos of Phil Jagielka and saying this is how I want you to play. And yeah, you do have to account for footballers' ego.
Yeah.
Particularly Ferdinand.
well, that's what Allegri did so well with Pirlo, especially. Pirlo himself fell out at Milan, and he went there and he basically extracted himself from extracted his ego from the situation and said, I want you to be part of my team. I think you're a great player, and then we can move on from what happened in the past. And
they did.
Yeah.
In some style.
And he also gave Paul Pogba a bigger role than Conte had.
Yeah.
With Conte, there was a sense that he was holding him back a little bit. Not holding him back, but he didn't want to push him too soon.
He needed the carrot and stick was actually Conte's expression for it. So I think, in a way, he brought Pogba in, but Pogba was also kind of ready. So it's also knowing when a player is ready as well. So that's probably Allegri's best.
He also gave Tevez more freedom than Conte did. Conte wanted him to do a lot of diligent defensive work. Now Tevez still does it under Allegri, but
and he doesn't play the big man, small man that Conte used under Llorente and Tevez.
With Tevez and Morata together, you've got two quick players capable of playing on the break. Morata's physical as well, so that worked out really well. And I think Conte is the example or Allegri is the example of a coach coming in and basically taking his ego out of the equation.
Yeah, letting players play.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll be fascinating to see what he does now next season, to see if we can build on this success.
Yeah.
But every reason to suggest he's going to have more success again.
It's a hard thing to do though, isn't it, to push on from a successful manager, because in the instance of Moyes, there wasn't really... Conte built a foundation because Juventus were finished 7th the season that Conte came in. So he built everything, laid them as champions and went out, whereas Ferguson was, 20, 25
there is
years,
a difference.
So I know they're both examples of transition. It's just, I think also, no matter how good a coach you are, coming into a club does depend on factors outside your control.
Yeah.
So the team wanted change under Conte. Matt Coddy wrote a piece about this about 2 weeks ago, about how they were tired of the disciplinarian approach, whereas, like we say, Max Allegri's a bit more happy-go-lucky.
Yeah.
You want to do what you do,
as well,
express yourself.
It is a different task taken out from a guy who's run the club basically from top to bottom for 26 years.
Events of a director of football.
Yeah.
This is the miracle of the director of sport or football role.
Yeah, but it was always going to be a difficult task for anybody coming into Manchester United and taking out from Alex Ferguson. Regardless of what he achieved, the stranglehold he had on that squad.
Yeah.
There was players who were there for, like Ryan Giggs.
They only knew
Ferguson. Yeah. Whereas the likes of Buffon and Pirlo have worked with other managers.
Yeah. Where you might see transition actually is the likes of West Ham with Big Sam leaving, or if Brendan Rodgers was to leave Liverpool, we might see had he taken them forward as a club or taken them to the same place as Dalglish. They're good examples, but the Fergie one, mountain.
Yeah, exactly.
It was never going to go well for Moyes, unfortunately.
Yeah, but in this instance, we're talking about clubs who are, winning titles.
Yeah.
You're taking on from a
that's
title winning
tougher.
manager is
Yeah.
a lot tougher. Like Guardiola's found that problem at Bayern. Now that's Guardiola still had a successful period as far as I'm concerned. He's basically tried to play a completely different way.
Be a different story, I think, has not won the Champions
Yeah,
League.
it would be.
Still convinced of that, It's unfortunate.
Like Guardiola signed for Barcelona or for Bayern Munich in January 2013 from his plush New York apartment. Basically brought in to take Bayern Munich to the next level. Lo and behold, your point case goes into treble. So yeah,
There's another transition. But yeah, credit Allegri. He's probably the best case of it, and that's how to do it.
And the most interesting one next season could be Jurgen Klopp to Thomas Tuchel.
To whoever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, to see. Sorry, I understand what you. Yeah, to Thomas Tuchel.
Thomas Tuchel does next season with Dortmund.
Well, he's been here before. Taking over from winning manager is never easy, but what do you think are the key ingredients for a successful transition? Have your say in the comment section below. Give us a like, subscribe to Final Third TV, follow us on Twitter at @the_final_third. Thanks for watching.